Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing? All right, so I want to first wish everybody a happy National Youth Day. Can everybody hear me? Can I get some twos if people can hear me? Some twos if you
I
can hear me?
can.
Okay, we got two, so that means they can hear me. So I'm just waiting on the presentation to come up and we get things going. All right, so I'm gonna go straight into it. And this was a perfect topic for me because it's really and truly my life. It's either I had learned to scale or I fail. And so straight to it, growing with your side hustle into your dream business. So this was the hustle. These were the hustle. So it started at the age of 11. I simply wanted to make sure I can make some money on the side, the legal way. So did a quick market analysis and figured out that these were a huge demand. So it was pretty simple to make. However, it was very, very time consuming, which is what others didn't like. But that was okay to me because I didn't mind sacrificing my childhood time to turn it into labor time to make some money. So little did I know that I would have gotten hooked into jewelry making after I made $250 in one lunch break at the age of 11 in Form 1. That's mind blowing in my opinion. So, how did I do it? It was all sacrifices. I had sacrificed my lunch money as capital to purchase the first batch of material. Can you guys see the second slide? There we go. Yes. So I did sacrifices. I sacrificed my lunch money as capital to purchase the first batch of materials. I can remember it like yesterday. I spent $4 on green beads, $4 on yellow beads, $4 on red beads, $6 on the black beads, a dollar for the locks, and dollar for fishing line, which was a total of 20. And that was 4 days of sacrificing of my lunch money to get these done. So it was enough to create two necklaces and material that was left behind and material that was left behind. And with this two necklaces that I sold, I made $16. I was able to purchase more black beads and locks because those were the foundations of my work. So I realized that I can make more money by purchasing materials wholesale. So I worked hard enough to make enough money and I gave it to my mom so that she can buy beads in bulk in the Dominican Republic. So it made my costs significantly lower, but my profits much more. Because at the end of the day, I want profit to be more than my cost. And so the cycle had started and I had a successful business at the age of 11. Pretty impressive in my opinion. So Candy Venture, it changed. My market had crashed. Market had crashed because the school policy changed. We could no longer wear bingies in school, which means that students would no longer purchase. It was indeed a trend, but new policy killed my market. So what I did was, I was already a business child. I did another market analysis and figured that children love sweets. I had saved from the money that I had saved from my jewelry venture, I gave it to my mom. And then again, she bought me jewelry in bulk. And she bought me candy. She bought me candy that were different and unique from what you would be able to find in other places. So the different names and sizes of the candies opened up the eyes of the customers, so then I became the candy boy from the bingy jewelry boy. It was safe to say that my candy career was successful until I was called to the principal's office and I was told that it's a conflict of interest. I can no longer sell sweets because the canteen sells sweets and they pay rent. So again, my market had died and no other choice but to sell after school hours. Wasn't as good as school hours, but it was enough to still save, which was what I wanted to do. Moving on, I took a business break. So during my last 2 years of high school, I wanted to make sure that I focus because at the end of the day, this is my side hustle and school is my work. So my business resumed back in college where we are all treated as adults and not much rules as high school. So this is where my life just changed forever. There's nothing holding me back at this moment. So moving on, this is before the dream. You can change the slide. I officially started my internship at the West Bay Club. After intern, I was hired as a personal concierge. I split my time hustling on the side and working at West Bay Club, along with finishing up a course that I had actually flunked because I was so determined to finish my studies. So instead of me just saying, you know what, I failed the course, I'm not gonna go back, I actually only accepted the job by allowing me to finish my school and also, my side hustle. And so I split my time doing that, and I was determined to finish my studies. Along with fish fry weekly sales, I finally sealed my deal. I finally signed a big contract, in my opinion, which was with Beaches. And so from that, I took the leap of faith and I became self-employed at 19 years of age on December 23rd, 2015. So from exclusive accessories, which was my business there, as you can see there, as I did the photo shoot with Raisha, it was exclusive accessories then. But then I got the courage from guests that I took pride in serving to name my business after myself, as all visitors stated that my name was such a nice name. Thank you to my parents. So this was the dream. I changed my entire brand. It became the Wellington collection after my name, and the logo is my initials, which were Wellington Michael Williams. As I signed my contract with Beaches, the manager told me, you must be able to fulfill the orders, which in my mind means that I needed to be consistent. I learned from a very young age that consistency goes a long way and quality over quantity is absolutely everything. So being self-employed allowed me to fulfill Beaches and other stores that became distributors of my products. I was a one-man band for quite some time, but I quickly realized that I needed help. So I hired help, as at the end of the day, you can't do it all by yourself because the end goal is to be successful, which I put together a team. With the team, we were able to fulfill about 12 stores at that time, along with fish fry weekly sales. So scaling, demand grew, and so many was asking if I had a shop. Before I was a one-man band, then I hired help. Then it got more demand. And so people were asking me if I had a shop. I met that demand. My team and I began to create a buzz within the tourist market, a great problem to have, I would say, as long as you can meet the demand. So I got a shop. My team grew, so did my demand, which is why scaling is so important, as each step of the way, you have to learn how to scale. I projected that I would need an extra hand, and the extra hand fit perfectly as I opened my shop and I also began selling internationally. Also grew my team as I now needed to focus on reaching out to more markets and be able to lead my team, as every great team needs a great leader. Next slide. So I started and hit the international market, which in my opinion is where I wanted to be. As I grew my team to manufacture, I was busy out at international markets to grow my business. When you fulfill a goal, you create new ones and keep to strive to grow. So I scaled my business, where it gave me the opportunity to go and represent my brand to get more business, which it worked out just as planned. And the team I had was able to fulfill all new orders that I had gotten from the international trade show. So I projected and I hired enough people so that I can make sure when I grow, scale my business enough where I will definitely be consistent at all times, because it's bad when you get a new account and you can't fulfill it, which means that they will drop you and they will tell others, oh, it's not worth the time. So this trade show is called the Surf Expo. It's a grand expo. It has to do with everything in regards to beach, surf, resorts, gift shops, and water activities. I was indeed stoked, as I was in the same room in hopes to make deals with these multi-million-dollar companies, brands that you'd be like, whoa, I'm in the same room as these people. Indeed, I was a small fry, if not the smallest fry. But I was a force to be reckoned with, as I truly believed in my brand today and forever. Many was impressed about my brand, and safe to say, I had a great first time experience. So with me scaling, going to international markets, I was able to meet the demands and grow and learn. The international trade show changed my life forever. I learned how to do business, not only like a pop-up show experience, but I learned to do business with multi-million dollar companies that's there around you. You gravitate to the people when they are looking at your brand, everything you have worked for, and they are there to cherish what you have done. And they're there to tell you like, whoa, like we've never seen this before. Like, where are you from? Like, who are you? Like, tell me about your work. Like, it changes your mind forever. And so today, I am actually scaling. I choose not to share what I'm scaling now because I like to work in silence. And right now, I'm scaling and I'm growing my business to be international, to be a brand that everybody knows, so that when they come to Turks and Caicos, they will already know this brand. And scaling is very important because you do not want to go from 0 to 100. It's very difficult to go from 0 to 100. In my business, I need to teach people along the way how to create my products. It needs to be consistent. It can't be like this today and like that the other day. It just won't really work. And you know, even though you see that I have a brand that is notable in Turks and Caicos, I'll tell you this: I've been through so many no's, so many doors closed on my face. Sometimes it comes from people that you would think, you know, would have your brand at best interest, and sometimes they just shut the door in your face. And you know what? I take it and I use it as fuel to make me keep on going and going and going. Because one thing I like to do is I like to prove people wrong, especially when they tell me no, when I know that I can do it. And so these are pictures of my current store, the Wellington collection. The logo is a form of beach, but it also is my logo, my initials, which is Wellington Michael Williams. And that's the end of my presentation about how I was able to scale and not fail, because at the end of the day, that is not what I'm going to do. Failure is not an option, and it shouldn't be for you either. Find ways. If you can't find a way, make a way, like Walter said. And that's my life of how I do it. And any questions?